Going to be talking about how to focus on business post NAR settlement. We know it's just a proposed settlement right now. By the end of July, we should be seeing it go through. But look, it's a massive opportunity, and we've got Mike and Bethany here with AssumeList to talk about those exact opportunities. You guys are busy right now.
We're busy.
We
Where
are
where's the
swamped.
busyness coming from?
So some of it, we're going to talk about that today, actually, is coming from people really interested in assumable loans. And we want to teach everyone here today how they can do that for themselves as well. Because we think it's an opportunity that not enough people are exploiting. And so if you can really be top of mind for a lot of buyers, especially as we head into like this post NAR environment where, we're all right now trying to figure out what's life for us going to look like post NAR suit if it's approved. And one of the things as we're doing that we should be thinking about is how do I articulate my value? So, we had to think about this before, of course, but maybe not in as detailed a way because it was almost universal that sellers would be offering compensation and that would be very obvious to us. And so buyers weren't asking as many detailed questions since the funds to pay us weren't necessarily coming out of their pocket. And one of the valuable things that we offer as agents is the knowledge of options that can specifically help buyers save money or get a better deal. And whether that's, understanding what programs your preferred lenders offer, like rate buy downs, or like local first-time buyer grants. When home buyers hear about potential savings, like their eyes light up, right? They're like, oh, you've seen this when you talk to a buyer about a break that they can get. You mention it, any kind of deal that will help them financially, and you see like that instant gratitude on their face. And they get excited because they're excited about the opportunity, but more importantly, they're also getting excited about you as an agent because the odds are you're probably the first one to mention that to them in a way that they could get a better deal, especially when the housing markets right now are super competitive. For you to talk to them about ways they can actually save money, a lot of agents are probably talking to them about ways that they're going to like overpay for houses and pay over appraised value. So for you, talking to them about ways that they could actually save a little bit of money or keep more money in their pocket, they're getting excited about that, and they're getting excited about you as an individual that can help them do that. So creating that trust and that excitement is going to be really important for us as agents as we figure out how to set ourselves apart from the competition, where buyers might now have to come out of pocket to pay us, and they're going to start scrutinizing our value more than they did before the settlement.
I would assume that when you are in front of a seller and you show them what you can do with AssumeList on the back end, that's like so much value that they've never seen before coming from an agent, because you're now giving them another option to bring in a different layer of buyers. And I don't know that you've had anybody actually bust out their laptop and be like, let me show you. Have you guys had that yet? Have you done that?
We have done it, yes. And we encourage other people to do that in both their buyers and their seller consultations, quite frankly. And Mike's going to show you some ways that you can really make that sexy. Well, with the AssumeList tools, we're gonna give you guys some new features here with AssumeList today that you can really help yourself stand out. But both on the buyer and the seller side, if you're not taking out your computer to actually show them the data that you have access to and ideas that you've got about what could be a good fit for them, really helping them visualize what that might look like, you're missing out. That's a great opportunity to show them you understand what they're going through, what their needs are, and here's some options for you already that I foresee.
Yeah. Mike, what do you have for us?
Yeah, so I'm going to talk a couple things before we get into the demo. Just more data and statistics. So we haven't really seen much of a trend change recently in recent weeks, where still the preponderance of homes that have assumable mortgages, listing agents are generally not advertising them accordingly, which just continues to boggle my mind. And I know there's a lot of, let's just say, negative perceptions about assumable mortgages. Sometimes still, I'd say close to half of all listing agents don't even know that the homes that they're listing have an assumable mortgage.
Yep.
So if you're listing a home, you're going to want to find that out. Two, you're going to want to advertise it, include a comment in the description, in the property description. Agents that advertise that, generally speaking, will get more traffic, more offers, sell at a higher price, and sell for faster. I mean, it's just kind of a no-brainer. And the reason, so let's talk about why is that? Why would that be the case? Well, if you look at it from the standpoint of who are buyers out, what are buyers' concerns right now? You know, what are buyers asking about? And across the board, as we all know, just this past week, the inflation data came out and the Fed announced that they're going to keep rates where they are, remain unchanged for the foreseeable future. And so it's almost like we're postponing this inevitable reduction in interest rates that were kind of anticipated later this spring and early summer. It looks like that's not going to be the case. And we're going to see rates kind of stay where they are for some time. With that being said, the fact of the matter is agents need to maximize this, and they need to showcase when they have an assumable mortgage to advertise it. Buyers want, there's 4 types of buyers out there right now: first-time home buyers, VA home buyers, FHA home buyers, and your conventional home buyers. Those that are advertising assumable mortgages, and anybody can buy a home with a VA assumable loan, and anybody can buy a home with an FHA assumable loan. There are some nuances with VA with entitlement, of course, but if you want to maximize the number of potential buyer pool to your sale, to your listing, you're going to want to talk about the fact that you have an assumable loan. You're going to maximize those people that are concerned about interest rates, which is everybody. If they're not paying cash, they care about interest rate. So why not do them a solid and showcase that you have this low rate assumable mortgage? Whether or not your seller intends to accept the offer, their timeline may or may not support it. The fact of the matter is you want to bring that attention to your listing.
Yeah, that's it.
And the same on the buyer side. If you're representing a buyer, as Bethany highlighted, you want to bring value to that conversation. And I just had a meeting this morning with somebody I just met today for the first time. He's a retiring, transitioning military officer, and he owns a couple of homes. And so when we first met today at the office, he said, "Mike, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not sure what agents I'm going to use. All I know is I'm retiring soon, and I did some research on assumable loans. Your name came up, so I figured I'd meet with you and talk." By the end of that conversation, I provided so much value, and I discussed about how this works and how we can use it to benefit you. And here are the pitfalls. He said, "Mike, he's like, I'm blown away by the amount of knowledge you have and how I know that you can help me solve this problem for my family." He's like, "I'm ready to sign today. Tell me, where do I sign to have you represent me?" And it was simple as a 20-minute conversation by bringing that value.
What stood out for that person that you were saying? What stood out the most for them as far as value?
Yeah, so knowing the rules, knowing how it works. Like, for example, this particular client already owns several other properties. One of them, he's already has his VA entitlement occupied in that property. So he said, "Well, if I have my entitlement in that home, do I need to sell it? Can I just buy another home? Can I assume an existing home with my remaining entitlement?" And so we don't have enough time necessarily to go through all of those kind of nuances, but being able to have those conversations and being able to address those concerns and walk him through the scenarios. And I literally broke it down. I said, "Okay, scenario 1, you keep your current property, which he has entitlement tied up in a current property." I said, "That doesn't mean you can't assume another home, and it doesn't mean you can't use your VA as long as you have remaining entitlement left." And so I said, there's ways to calculate what that would be, and we can talk through that. I said, another scenario is we sell your current home, you reinstate your VA entitlement. That frees you up to do anything you want. You can take out a new mortgage, or you can assume an existing mortgage without any limitations because your entitlement has been reinstated. So we walked him through all those scenarios, and we even talked about funding fees and all of the things, and assumption fees that the VA charges, and timelines, and the new VA circular that now mandates that. So for those that aren't aware, that mandates that the lenders must approve, if they have automated underwriting authority, they must approve a VA assumption within 45 days of receiving that application. So there are specific parameters that are now in place to help expedite these assumptions, to kind of take the pain out of it that largely has kind of existed for several, pretty much for the last year or two, where you hear a lot of these horror stories where it took 4, 5, 6
Yeah.
months to assume a loan.
Well,
Like those stories are kind of few and far between. In fact, most of them are now occurring within 45 to 60 days. In fact, just the last week or two, I've been hearing uh, agents like completely beside themselves, so excited they're talking about it on Facebook. They closed an assumption loan in 30 days. And there's more and more examples of that where assumptions are actually taking place in 30 days. So the idea of using an assumption to start the conversation and generating clients out of it is a real thing. And my, Bethany and I are, um, we're building a business on this because it is the future. We think
yeah.
solving that problem, interest rates are not going back to 3%. They are not going to be at 4%. Maybe we get to 5.5 or 6. But the fact of the matter is there's millions upon millions of homes around the country with a 2.5 or 2.75 or 3% interest rate. There's nearly 2.3 million properties searchable on AssumeList where buyers can search for properties with a sub 5% interest rate. Again, the vast majority are sub 3%, to help solve that problem for your buyers.
Nice, man. I like that. And yeah, when you put it that way and you outline it, it all comes down to exactly what you're saying. When you're giving them information, they feel like you're covering everything. So they feel comfortable that in almost all possible situations that come up, you'll be there for them and you'll understand what's happening to guide them. That's very true. I like
Yep.
that. All right, so show me the demo. I want to see what you've got here because I know you're always adding to it.
Always adding. So first and foremost, I'll just do a quick screen share here. And what we'll do is I'm going to just do a quick update on where we are with the recent areas served. So we are just in the last week, we've launched in 5 new markets and in 6 additional MLSs. So we were in California and Florida and Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
We are getting ready to launch this week in Colorado. So Denver and the Colorado Springs market. So these, I think it's 11 counties or so, kind of around the central Colorado market. So Denver, Colorado Springs, which comprises, for the agents out there, it's the RE Colorado and Pikes Peak MLSs. Also, we're launching in MRED in central Illinois. So Chicago, all the way down into northern and central Illinois. We'll be launching there this week as well. The
Mhm.
Vegas market will be launching in Vegas this week. So anybody who has clients in and around, what's the 2 big bases there? Cannon and Creech Air Force bases. We'll cover all of the entire Vegas and southern half of Nevada. And also, we are launching in the northeastern portion of Florida in the Jacksonville market, as well as southern Florida, kind of the Miami-Dade, Fort Lauderdale, Palm Beach area. We're launching in there later this week as well. And then
Man,
finally, we don't have the map built out for Texas, but we will be launching in Texas within the next probably 30 to 45 days to encompass Austin, San Antonio, Houston, and what's the last? Dallas. So those 4 major markets we're going to be launching in the next, say, 4 to 6 weeks in Texas. And once that's done, with the exception of probably Georgia and North Carolina, which are the other 2 major markets that we're looking to expand in, we'll cover pretty close to about 90% of the entire assumable mortgage market nationwide, with these major. Now, of course, there's little odds and ends and there's pockets here and there, but from the concentration of where does the vast majority of assumable loans reside across the nation, we'll have pretty close to about 90% covered within the AssumeList platform.
nice. That's dude, you guys are
Um,
going
yeah,
fast.
yeah, we're launching really, really quick. The other thing I'll just mention, just for those that are subscribers or will soon be subscribers. So right now, we have a feature that allows us consumers to see, for example, if we go to California, the total number of assumable mortgages that reside in or available for assumptions in the state, and you can flip through every single state and see them. But what we don't have is kind of what has the trend been? So is the trend goes up or the trend goes down, are more
Yeah.
assumable mortgages available today than they were last month? And so we're building out a new feature, and this is just still in demo, so it's on our staging site, but we'll have this available on the production server within the next week or two, which is going to show a trend line, and this is for California here, a trend line, every week we're actually seeing an increase in the number of available assumable mortgages in California. And so I thought that showing trend would be a really powerful way of demonstrating to buyers or even sellers, hey, there are more homes available now with assumable mortgages than there were last week or the week prior, the month prior. And we're going to display the trend line for specifically for assumable properties by each state. So each state will have its own trend line and show reflective numbers of where things are. And you can also see coming soon status. Not all MLSs provide coming soon, but for those that do, we will demonstrate where the coming soon properties are, relative to active, and even some, if we include the pending, just to show the totality of all homes within a particular market. So we think that's a really cool, powerful
That is
feature
awesome.
as a talking point to show trend of where assumable mortgages are now relative to, say, last week or last month or 2 or 3 months ago.
I like this, man. This is
Uh,
awesome.
this is cool. Yeah, another cool feature we just released, and this is live right now. So if we go to, say, I don't know, San Diego, for example, um,
Mhm.
you know, and you wanted to, say, focus in on a specific community. So right now, as of now, we have this draw feature, so you can kind of draw a map, and then you can filter properties based on that custom draw feature. So if there's a specific neighborhood or community, rather
Mm.
than just filtering it based on city or zip code, we're having a draw feature, and then we're enabling that specific map that you've customized, setting up alerts so that when if you wanted to have alerts either come to you whenever a new property within that area becomes available, you can do so um, through an email notification. So you save an alert, you type in, what maybe this is for, a client, John Doe, and then you can set up, if you want instant alerts and you want to be notified of status changes, price changes, you can add in the client's email address there. And then the client will receive an email. Here's just kind of a demonstration of what it would look like when any new properties that match
Oh.
that criteria in that parameter that you set, they'll receive an email notification. And when they click on that email, they'll open it up into the AssumeList platform, showing that client the loan balance, the interest rate, the down payment requirement, or the cash gap, and it's custom branded to you. So
Mhm.
I'm logged in as an administrator, but behind this panel, this top
Cool.
screen here, it says my name. It'll say my team name and logo, and then of course it's branded to me, or you as an agent. Your logo, your photo, your contact information will all be branded to you for whenever you send these out to clients. They know to contact you about these properties, but of course you're the one who sent it to them for alerts. So they already know that they're getting them from you. But this now, if they share it further, it all gets sent back to you.
That's really
Um,
nice, man.
Pretty cool, right?
That's really cool. Just the top left, that little breakdown that you had, that's pretty powerful.
Yeah, I
430,
mean, every
134
every
down.
property on
Okay.
AssumeList with an Assumable mortgage, will tell you the loan type. So this particular one is an FHA property, the loan balance, the interest rate, and the mortgage payments, as well as the purchase date. And if it was refinanced, we'll include the refinance date, the property type, subdivision, county. So all that's listed, as well as all the other general information that you would expect to see, because we do have a live MLS feed. So you can go through the photos, you can click on the map, and this property happens to be right outside of in Northern Virginia. So you can view it on a Google map. You can switch over to satellite view, and you can see it on a satellite view. So pretty cool features that we enable just to help
Yeah.
paint the picture. And of course your clients have access to all this information: days on market, square footage, taxes. It's all here. But the core of what we offer that nobody else does, of course, is this assumption component, which is
Yeah.
and then you can set up
You don't
filters
see that
based on
anywhere.
down payment. So if you've got a buyer, say, let's just remove the shape. Let's go to a big county. What county do you live in, Tristan?
Ventura County.
So Ventura County, California. So if we wanted to see Ventura County, California, there are currently 45 homes for sale with an assumable mortgage in Ventura County. And then if we wanted to kind of do filters. Say, let's say you've got a buyer, they don't have a lot of cash. You can filter based on the down payment requirement,
Mm,
or the cash gap that you have relative to your specific client. So if you got a client, let's just say they only have 200K down. So you want to eliminate all the other properties that have a down payment requirement above that, you can do so. And now it's only filtering homes and only displaying homes. And you can see that
that's
the
awesome.
cash gap in this specific filter criteria that we set up. And it shows you not only the list price and the cash gap, but you can go into each particular property. And of course, that's when you can see whether it's a VA, FHA, the interest rate, all that stuff is available to you. And then you can again save this as a
Wow.
search, and then you can send this to your clients. And so any of these other properties, as new ones come out that match that criteria, they will be notified in real time. Or you can set it up as a weekly or daily, once a day, once a week, or instant whenever that new property hits the MLS. Your client will now be notified accordingly. Another cool feature that's coming out later this week, I don't have it for demonstration today, is just how I demonstrated the live MLS.
Yeah.
Everybody in any active or any agent who has an account with AssumeList will
Mm-hmm.
also be able to search for every off-market property that has an assumable mortgage. So Ventura County overall has just about 9,500, almost 10,000 homes in Ventura County, California, with an assumable mortgage, all under with an interest rate of below 5%. So
Damn.
what's really cool, I can't demonstrate it today, but by the end of the week, this will be live, is you can then also filter off-market homes based on the cash gap. So that, how does that make sense? Because they're not actively listed for sale. So what is their list price? Well, we use a market valuation to come up with what's kind of a automated valuation criteria to basically anticipate what a current list price would be, and we use that as a basis to come up with that delta, that cash gap delta, so that if you have a buyer that wants to live in a specific neighborhood in Ventura County, for example, you can find them an off-market property that also has that filtered cash gap criteria that you can now use to contact homeowners. So, for example, if this property here on Ambrose Avenue, let's just say it matched all your criteria, this home is off market. So it's not listed for sale. There's no listing agreement in place, but it matches. It's got a 2.5% interest rate. It's got a loan balance of about 400,000. So that calculation will be provided to have roughly a $55,000 cash gap requirement. Down here at the bottom, under property owner details, we already know here who the owner is. I can click this button and I'm not going to do this in real time because for privacy reasons, because this will go to the world. I know this video will. If I click this button right here, it will provide me with the skip tracing data of the actual homeowner's email address and cell phone number that then I can use as an agent. If I've got a client who wants to live in this neighborhood, there's nothing for sale, or there's no assumable homes for sale, but I just found
Mm-hmm.
one that's off market. And I can use this as an opportunity to perhaps reach out to the seller and have that conversation with the seller to see if they're interested in selling. I've got a willing and ready buyer who wants to live in this neighborhood. We came across your home. We understand it has a 2.5% interest rate. SUMA's just provided you with the tools to call that homeowner to have that conversation. So now you can access, and remember, all these filters and everything was all set up through AssumeList. So we know that the cash gap in this case was 50K, so that your buyer had the means to buy it. We know the interest rate, we have the homeowner information. And so all of this is now searchable from inside AssumeList. Pretty cool.
Dude, it's amazing. I'm still thinking, it was after our last session that we had, I went to Trenton, he's our director of technology, and I said, why don't we start creating ads, Facebook and Instagram ads, that start advertising the homes that are on the market already,
Right.
but that are assumable, right? And we're in the process of creating that because if we can lead people to a list, but before they get to the list, we capture their info and then reach out to them and talk to them. That's a whole new category of buyer leads that nobody is touching, and you
Yeah.
allow us to be able to do that.
Love
Exactly.
it.
And for
That's
and
awesome.
just as a recap, what Tristan's talking about is any property that you as an agent find, you can create a link just by clicking the share button, and it creates a custom link branded to you, the agent, where you can take this link right here and post that link to Facebook, for example, and it creates a custom branded advertisement, effectively like how people share links on Zillow or Redfin or Realtor.com. This is a link branded to you, and when that the world will see that on Facebook in their feed, and when they open that up, it will look like it will look just like this property here. It will be a property that has your information to you, your contact information, and then if they remember, these are people outside your network.
Mm-hmm.
So if they see this property and want more information about it, this information is already pre-populated. If they're a Google account holder and they're logged into their Gmail or Google account, their
Mm-hmm.
contact information is already populated and the address is already populated. All they have to do is hit the submit button. That will be sent directly back to that agent who posted that ad. And this is a free lead that agent just received without paying any money by just promoting either their own listing or some other listing that they found that say it's in a neighborhood that they like to work. They can promote any property and generate leads off of it.
Dude, this is amazing. I love the ability you give us to just offer more value to the people that we're working with. And I think as the sellers and the buyers see this, because it's you can't find this anywhere else, right? This is such a big layer of value that you give. Um, it just creates a big opportunity for us to stand out.
It does. And
That's a real
Bethany
good
opened
thing.
it up earlier and she was spot on is that those agents that can bring value to the table will be able to generate more business in this post-NAR lawsuit world that we're not worried about that. There's a lot of agents who I know are, they're, high blood pressure and they're a little stressed out and what's this going to mean? And I mean, you see it in the Lab Coat Agents
Yes.
Facebook group, and I see it as well. There's no shortage of comments of people who have expressed their their thoughts and frustrations with what to expect.
Yeah.
And really, what it comes down to is the agents that can create value and demonstrate that they are worth working with. So the example that I gave earlier today, I met with this new client. The end of that conversation, he said, Mike, I want to work with you and only you. Send me the buyer representation agreement. I'm ready to sign it now. And I didn't even offer to send him any buyer representation agreement. It wasn't like, hey, can I send this to you? It's he asked because he saw value in working with me, and I think that's where we want to help agents get to. If we can help agents cross that threshold where they walk into a conversation with confidence about what they can bring to the table, and the clients can see that confidence. These
Mm.
leads can see that confidence. Then we think that is what will propel the agents of the future to great success.
I agree. I agree. All right, everyone listening in, what city and state are you in? Because AssumeList is not everywhere yet. It's in concentrated areas. I just want to see where everybody's in. Obviously, I'm in Ventura County. There's a there's a military base there, so that's why you saw uh, so many properties that were available there. Let's see what we've got here. We've got San Antonio, Texas. Obviously, Jake is in Ventura County too. We work together. Temecula, Houston, Texas, New Jersey, in the suburbs of Chicago, Keith, San Antonio, Kenyatta, Norfolk, Virginia, Sharon, Oceanside, California, San Diego area,
Yep.
Stephen, Birmingham, Alabama, Tony, Houston. We've got a few people from Texas. I like that.
Yep.
Uh,
We'll cover that soon.
Lacey, Palmer, Alaska. Lacey, I don't know where Palmer is. I'm gonna have to look it up. Uh, Anuradha, Houston, Hampton Roads, Virginia, Northern Utah by Hill AFB. I don't know where that is, but now I have to look that up too. Frisco, Texas. Do you know where that is, Brad? Welcome. Wart. Is it Wart or Warty? Maple Grove. Oh, it's Warty. There you go. Warty.
40. Yep.
St. Louis and Derek out of Long Beach. You're covered. Guys, what areas are next that you're working on after Texas? Texas comes out, the areas in Texas come out next week, you said?
Yeah, no, I'm just starting Texas, so we're probably 4 weeks from getting Texas launched.
Okay.
And like I think we already discussed, so Houston, Dallas, Austin, San Antonio, which I think covered all the ones that were mentioned in the chat.
Yeah, all the big ones.
All the bigger cities, right? And beyond that will be North Carolina, probably the Charlotte area, as well as Eastern North Carolina, Atlanta, Georgia, and surrounding counties around the Atlanta area. And then really I'm going to lean on the community to tell me where they want us to go. I mean, we can go really wherever we find the demand for, where the demand signal exists. So of the list that we just saw, I think we cover about 8 out of 10 of those cities we're already in, or will soon be in this week.
Yeah.
And I think the remaining ones, we just have to find ways to get into them in the weeks ahead. I mean, the fact of the matter is interest rates aren't going down. So, you can have a conversation for the agents out there that we don't necessarily serve yet. Feel free to reach out to me. I'm always happy to help agents, especially lab coat agents. Like this is a team. This is a group that we are here to help each other. But yeah, reach out to me. We're happy to help you answer questions or dispel rumors about how assumable mortgages work. We are
Yeah.
growing as fast as we can. I think, remember when we did our first webinar, Tristan, a couple of months ago, we were in a couple states, and now we're well into what, 12, 13, 14
Yeah,
states.
that was fast. That's why I'm like,
Yeah.
wow,
Not
man.
even 2 months, right? So I think we're growing as fast as we can, and we're not done yet.
Alabama. Steven's asking for Alabama. How is that?
I've looked at Alabama. I've got to do some more research. And just behind, letting people peer behind the curtain here. How it works is we get access to a market based on the MLS coverage area. Because remember, all the properties
Mm.
that we want to make available for search, we have to have a live MLS connection. So we have to do all the broker compliance, and there's legal rules, and the MLSs have to approve the AssumeList website onto the platform, et cetera. So there's a lot of work kind of happens behind the scenes. And so what we really look for is those MLSs that have a large, juices worth the squeeze, so broad coverage area, a lot of assumable homes. And so some of these smaller communities, a lot of regions around the country, and Tristan, you may know this, their MLSs are kind of broken up into little, pockets, county here, a county there, and a county here. And it just makes it more challenging. It doesn't make it impossible, just more challenging because we have to meet each individual MLS compliance rules. They have to do the review, and we have to subscribe and get brokers approval. And so there's a lot involved with making all that happen. So it doesn't mean that we're not going there. It just means that it's going to take some time to get some of these other smaller areas. We have looked at Alabama, and I don't have a timeline yet, but we will most likely consider that in the months ahead.
Thanks. All right, everyone, we did put up the link. Let me bring it up. Jake, if you can drop in the link one more time. If we don't have your area, there's a place to click a link and say, hey, I'm on a wait list as well. So do that. And if you sign up, let us know. We'd love to know how you're doing, how you're using it, and what the consumer that you're targeting is talking to you about as well, because this is an extremely value-driven software. So
Last plug
shoot.
is Jake just posted the link. So that's the Lab Coat Agents exclusive discount. If for those that sign in, we do have a form that can be submitted. There's a feature that you want or a capability that would help you in your business. Submit that feature request to us. We have rapid development underway. We can implement changes in a matter of days, not weeks or months. So we encourage you, if there's something that would be helpful to you in your business, first off, you get a discount for being a Lab Coat Agent member, and two, we would encourage any feedback to help us improve the platform for the broader community.
Perfect. Let me put in the wait list too. I'm just gonna drop in the link just in case anybody wants the wait list. There it is.
Yes.
There's a wait list, everyone. Grab that one. Bethany, Mike, thank you so much. What area are you guys in so everyone knows?
Northern
We're in
Virginia.
Virginia. Yeah, close to DC, about 15 minutes outside.
Oh, so would you say the DMV area? You guys
Yep.
cover that? All right, perfect. Everyone else, thank you. Take advantage of this. Click on the wait list if your area is not there. And then if it is, sign up, use it. And as we start coming up with ads on Facebook and Instagram, I'll showcase those too, so we can show you what we're doing and how we're succeeding.
Yes,
So
exciting.
thank you.
Thanks, Tristan.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye.